Check this out. A stranger sent me their pest control landing page. They're spending money on ads, getting clicks, but no buyers. Why? Because of 3 huge mistakes they are making on their landing page that I have seen thousands of businesses make, and I bet you're probably making them too. I've launched over 600 landing pages in 120 niches, and today I'm going to show you how to turn this into this. Let's get started. Okay, so here is the landing page. And whenever I look at a landing page, the first thing I need to understand is where is the traffic coming from? For this landing page, it is Google Ads. So what does that mean? Well, it means that somebody's actually looking for them. So I'm going to make a couple of assumptions, and I'm going to assume that we have pest control near me, and we have like get rid of termites or something like that. So there's going to be a word here where they actually understand the pest control, and then there's more of like a problem, like get rid of termites, pest control, something like that. So now that we understand, that's how somebody's going to land here, right? They're searching something on Google Ads, they're clicking the ad, and now when we create our landing page should be like our next micro step, right? Often when I'm doing a Facebook ads campaign, I won't do as a direct offer that I do on Google Ads. Why not? Because they are back in a stage of the buyer's journey. I'm going to break this down step by step. I'll probably be giving a few more than 3 things that we can work on. So the first thing here is in the navigation, and we have all of these clicks where they can leave. We've got the social where they can leave. We've got the navigation where they can leave. Often on landing pages, as the control when I'm doing campaign-based work, is I will remove the navigation. All I want them to do is to take one step on this page. Now, there are instances where I might have anchor links. So for example, on something like this, I might have an anchor link for reviews. If that's one of their buyer decision questions, which we're going to talk about in a second, I might have reviews, how it works, guaranteed, something like that, right? But I would remove this navigation and I would make this logo smaller. Cool. Next, we've got the above the fold. So this is the most important real estate. Let's just think about this in context. Somebody's Googled something like pest control near me, and then they've landed here. We have our eyebrow. Are you ready to get free home pest control? Okay, interesting. Tops is offering free pest control when you refer your neighbors. Now we've just introduced friction. This is not the right offer, right? And then we have here the bullets. You will get a month free for each friend or neighbor that you refer that signs up for our core service. There is no limit, etc., etc. The problem is they don't want to help their neighbors right now. They want to get these termites and other disgusting little pests out of their home. That's the big thing, right? So in terms of when we send and we pay traffic to come here, and then we think, okay, what this is our offer, right? And then our offer should be the next micro step. This is causing friction in the process. So actually what we would want to do, and I'm going to show you this on the final page in a second, but we would want to have something in the headline that actually hits on the keywords. So what did they search and how can you put the keywords into the above the fold? And then we're going to want to update the headline. So this headline is pretty much one of the most important things here, and this above the fold, because with this offer, we've just introduced friction for them to work with us. They were probably ready when they typed in pest control, and then we've put in like a friction for them to take up our offer or to take the next step with us. So if we think of it, what's actually probably their next step that they want to take with us? It's probably to get a free quote, right? It's like, hey, I've typed this into Google. I'm going to just open the first 3, speed to lead, whoever gets back to me and whoever hits the key buying decision factors, I'm going to purchase from. So if we go onto the laptop and I just literally type in, I have a pest control business. My audience are homeowners. When I can spell, Google Ads, what are the top buyer decision questions? And this is like not even on one of my bots or anything. This is like raw Claude. Let's see what it says. Are you licensed? How long have you been in business? Can you provide local references? What specific pests do you treat, etc.? Now that's a lot. I would be looking for the top 3 to 5. The way that I would do that is to either look at the call transcripts, like put my call transcripts through AI. I would survey all of my previous customers, or I'd go and look at all of the reviews, whatever, and I could ask it, okay, what do you think are the top 5? Now that's the main thing is above the fold, and I'm going to show you how to improve this in a second in the new version. Now we've got a video, but because it's connected to that offer, it's not the right offer. We've got some social proof, which is good, but maybe a little bit hard to read. And then moving down the page, probably most people wouldn't get down here. But what I can see that I like is this. Okay, so it tells me where you are, which is important for a lot of these like localized Google ad campaigns. And it tells me what shit you kill. I'll just call it pests. Okay, and then we've got the quote, because we kind of know, right, that like that is the next step. What's it going to be? So we're going to get into that in a second. Now, what I'm going to say is, I hope nobody's watching this thinking like, oh yeah, that's so dumb. Like I would know that. No, you wouldn't. I've looked at so many landing pages, and thank you to Kyle who sent this in for me to check it out, because marketing is the most humbling sport you'll do, and the most frustrating thing that makes me want to bang my head against a wall until blood is leaking out of my eyeballs is doing my own marketing. You put me into any company, yeah, man, I will make you millions of dollars. Having to sit down and do my own marketing is very hard. Why? The curse of knowledge. Yeah, it's very hard to read the label from inside the bottle. So I hope nobody thinks that they can do this better. Otherwise, send me your landing page. Okay, so we've spoken about above the fold. That is our most important thing. Then, yes, social proof is very, very important. But what we want to do on a page like this for Google Ads is to have all of the decisioning above the fold, right? So we're missing, this is down here. I want to move this higher, and I'm going to show you this in a second. Okay, we're about to get into the redesign. But before we do, I know that there's always people thinking, yeah, but like, is this going to work for my business? Yeah, babe, it is, because all we're talking about is human behavior, human psychology, right? We're just trying to get into the head of your customer. So here, for you, Kyle, the most important thing we want to do is one, understand which stage of awareness they are in. People can go all the way from unaware to most aware. And then there's different stages in between. So as an example for this, if they were problem aware, right, which is kind of just not far after unaware, they were problem aware. My house is crumbling from termite, like they don't know it's termites. My house is crumbling, what do I do? Or they might be like, okay, I have termites, but I don't know what to do. I've identified the problem, there I am. Then they would move into solution aware. Okay, I know I have termites. I'm gonna draw a termite. Yeah, these little fuckers eating your house. Okay, I've got a termite. Now I'm looking at all of my different solutions. Do I nuke the house on my own? Do I bring in pest control? Or do I move house? I would just leave the thing. Okay, so now we've gone, I know what my problem is, I know the different solutions, and now we have, cool, I've decided I want pest control. Now I'm looking at pest control 1, pest control 2, pest control 3, and then the most aware, so this is product aware. Rip to anyone trying to read my words. So that is product aware, and then there's most aware. Okay, I know I want to go with tops, but I'm waiting for the right offer. And you need to match up what you're going to do on your landing page based on whether they're problem aware. I have termites, what do I do? I have termites, I'm assessing these different options to get rid of them. I have termites, I know I need pest control, I'm looking at competitor 1, 2, 3, right? We need to match up to that. Now, I'll make the assumption that because you are Google Ads, it's going to be keywords like this, and if you're not, it should be. And that's what you want to match to this, right? So they're really like that solution product aware. Okay, so back to that thing. Okay, but is this going to work for me? Yes, because I'm teaching you how to think. I don't work in local spaces. I don't work in pest control. I work in super high ticket and info, right? It doesn't matter. Even when I was in e-commerce, it's all the same thing, because all we're doing is we're studying human behavior and psychology. And if you're a marketer, that's what you need to get obsessed with. The problem I see most people doing, there's a scaling equation, right? There's a marketing equation. And it's how I hire every marketer. It's how I identify problems in a funnel. And it goes like this. Okay, so we have economics, right? What is the economics of your funnel? What does this page convert out? What are your CPCs? What are your CPMs? Whatever. What is your lead to sales time? What is your AOV, what's your LTV? Understanding all of that. Then this equation, you have psychology. Okay, who are you talking to? What problems do they have? What's your messaging going to be? What's your differentiation? What's your offer, etc. And then it's powered up by technology, right? Technology is an accelerator. But, and I say this in all of my videos probably because I don't shut up about it, everybody is obsessed here. But 1,000 times 0 is 0. So if you're good at AI, congratulations. Marketing is inputs and outputs. Garbage in, garbage out. You need these things. And that's why I worry about a lot of today's marketers, because they are not spending the time to master it, right? So when I'm doing marketing and I'm using AI, even though I have really good prompts, it still spits me back garbage. And I know I have the discernment when it spits me back garbage, because it can be really convincing. It can be really convincing that it's right. And then when I'm ever using AI for like lawyering or medical, I'm like, fuck, I bet this is wrong, because I know how wrong it is from a marketing point of view. Whatever, moving on. This is where we are. And now, this is the revised, cleaned version. Now, I predominantly focused on the above the fold. I obviously don't have all of the inputs from this business, but I'm going to walk you through the top changes that I did. Now, you can see here, I've made the navigation much cleaner, right? I've got this call button here because I know a lot of these people, it's time sensitive. They just want quotes. Speed to lead in this space. I have worked in local lots. I just don't do it anymore. Okay. And then I'm making it very clear that it's get my free express quote. And you can see here under the call to action, this is like a friction remover, I would call it. So whatever is like their biggest friction, and you can do basic bitch AI and find out these things, right? I have our programs and stuff that give you this. Okay, so number one is the nav. We've cleaned it up. As I said before, if I found out people cared, I'd put like how it works, whatever. But usually when someone has something like this on a Google Ads, speed. Also in like the trade niche, people in my experience are usually really worried about you doing a quote and then you bullshitting them, and then you like expanding the price. So usually you want to do some sort of like fixed quote guarantee. But what you can see here is I've added the form above the fold, right? And on mobile, same thing, because of the temperature of traffic. If I was doing a meta ads campaign for a high ticket coach, I wouldn't do this. Like I wouldn't do it. It doesn't make sense. But they're ready to go, right? Okay, now we can see the headline. This is basic version. We're going to get into this more. Pests gone in 24 hours, talking about the time. Get a free pest control quote in just 15 minutes. What I understand about this audience, or my assumption, is they want to move fast. Now, I've guessed the buyer decision questions, but again, you can ask the internet, our AI overlords. And because I found it's in Austin, boom, that's going to be important to homeowners in Austin. Same day, transparent quote. Safe for pets and family, guaranteed pest free for 6 months. This is a wild guess, but I bloody bet that's what it is. Then I would have a testimonial here as well. Kyle, thank you so much. You killed all of my termites, but not my family or my pets, and we're still healthy, whatever. Maybe in Austin, I've only been to Austin once, but maybe they care about eco-friendly shit as well. So I would be like eco-friendly. Whatever. It's just whatever your audience cares about that you truly deliver on, because we are always ethical. And then we have this. Now, moving down, you might not have as featured in. You might have quotes or whatever, but definitely in the lead, I don't know if you call them Austinites. Then in the lead, I would have testimonials, ideally from Trustpilot. And then, okay, this is the last thing I want to show you, I think. Then here, this rapid shield, I made it up, right? But why did I make it up? Because what I'm looking for is something called, can I spell it? A proprietary system. Why is it going to be different from all of my competitors? Especially in something like this, which I bet is commoditized and they're looking on price. What you want to do, and you might not be able to increase your prices, but at least you can have the confidence tax. So if they're comparing you to Pest Control X, and Pest Control X never answers the phone quickly, they're unprofessional, their page was ugly, like this is their first experience with you. This looks good. This is clean. This makes me feel like you're going to kill some pests, right? All right. And then we have the Just one clear call to action down the page. That's it. And then obviously the page can be longer, but to be honest, whenever I've done this on Google Ads, all the magic is happening up here. And now you can't even see the beautiful artwork. I did, whatever. Okay, so this is it. Now, you might be thinking, wow, Alicia, you're so good. That page is so beautiful. Yes, it is. But here's my next like Trojan horse of training. And that is this. The design doesn't matter too much, right? It matters like enough where it needs to be good for UX UI. This is like way cleaner. The eye knows where to look. It looks a bit more professional, but the design's like very basic, bitch. It's very easy. This is like a very easy design to do. And it's meant to be, right? Because the thing that's going to truly move the needle on this is the offer and testing the offers. And especially for this traffic, because we are going to be on Google Ads and there are going to be a bunch of competitors who don't know what they're doing, driving up the cost per click. So what probably happens is, let's Google it, fucking do it. Okay, pest control Austin. I am in Bali, so it might not work. Affordable pest control, no. Active pest control, no. All-star pest control, inexpensive pest control. Nah, hate them all. I mean, they might be winning, but that is why I do love these markets, because imagine if you said, number one pest control, Austin, 5,000 homes serviced, transparent quote guaranteed. You've stood out from the noise. And that's the whole goal of this, right? Is to be different, is to stand out, because the very first step of our funnel doesn't even matter about this page. No one's going to see it unless they click on our ad, right? So how do we make them click on our ad and not a competitor's ad? It needs to be way better. So where I'm going with this is, yes, the page looks good, but it's really in the offer. So let's go back to Claude. I have a pest control business. I'm starting to believe I truly have a pest control business. I have a pest control business. I'm running Google Ads. What are 5 offers? What are 5 exciting offers I can give my market to get heaps of leads? This is a lazy prompt. Let's see. Okay, great. Free pest inspection plus a $50 off first treatment. Hell yeah. Imagine if you were here and you were like $50 off. Great. It's just ad has standard. It has stood out. First month free. I don't know if you're going to have ongoing, but that's okay. Same day emergency service, or it's free. I don't know if that works for this, but you can do that for plumbing. 100% money back guarantee. I think I had that. Good try, Claude. Use your own brain. And then $99 whole house treatment. Cool. And you could just keep prompting it, and you could do a better prompt. You can use something like, I can't pull it up. You can use something like prompt cowboy. I always do that because I put in my lazy ass quote prompt, and then it gives me a way better prompt. But in summary, this was the original page. We need to think about how is somebody going to land here? And then we need to think about, okay, where are they in their buyer decision? I have termites. I know my problem. Number 1. Number 2, okay, I have termites. I know my problem. What should I do? Number 3, okay, I know what I want to do. It's pest control. Now I'm looking for the right offer. And I would hypothesize that if we are targeting these keywords, if we are targeting like pest control, right, then that's how they're going to land here. Okay, and that is the end of fixing a stranger's landing page. If you want me to fix yours, chuck a link down in those comments somewhere. Number 2, if you want to understand how I create $1 million landing pages, watch this next. Number 3, in the Choose Your Own Adventure, if you want me and my agency to scale the shit out of your Facebook ads and your business, there is a link in the description to work with me. You'll talk to me. We'll see if it's a good fit, and we'll go from there. See you on the next video.